الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. To proceed. So in today's lesson, inshallah ta'ala, we will discuss the next subject, which is, so it's huruf al-jarr, which means the letters of dragging. Al-jarr means dragging, right? Huruf means letters. The plural of harfun, right? The plural of harfun. Now there are a number of huruf al-jarr. There's a number of them. But at the beginning, we're only going to mention the most common examples. Right? So, one of the most common examples of a huruf al-jarr is fi. Fi. And fi means in. Right? Fi means in. The next one is, on the most common, ala, which means on. Next, ila, which means to. Next, bi, which means with or
by,
in or by. You're right. Right, so it means in or with or by. And the next one, fi, ala, ila, bi, an. Good, Muhammad. About. The next one, there's a lot actually, but the next most common one is li. Li, meaning for. Okay, so we have fi, ala, ila, bi, an, and li. But there are others. We'll just do them in a later class, inshallah ta'ala. So, fi is from huruf al-jarr, the letters that drag, which mean that when they come before an ismun, they make that ismun what, Muhammad? Majrurun. Such as fi kitab. Bin. Never says bi. Alright. Fi kitabin, which means
in a book.
In a book. Fi kitabin, in a book. So Muhammad, if we wanted to say in the book, we would say
Fil kitabi.
Fil kitabi. Good. You took off one. Fil kitabi, in the book. Okay? So if we wanted to say on the book, Arajan, how would we say it?
On the book.
Yes?
Ala kitabi bin.
Ala, on the book. Ala
Kitabin. No.
Ala al-kitab. Bi. Never say bin when there's an al. Never make it tanween. Right? Ala al-kitabi, it becomes on the book. Okay? To the book would become what? Akhlaq? To the book. Ila al-kitabi. Right? Ila al-kitabi. And similarly, in, with, by the book would become bil kitabi. About the book would become
How do we go down? An al-kitab, no?
Well, we'll come to that in a moment. Sorry?
Anal kitab.
An
An al-kitab.
al-kitabi. So when we have two sukoons that meet that cannot, the sukoon becomes a kasra. Anil kitabi.
It's always kasra then. When
Yes, not always, but for this, yes. Anil kitabi. Right? And for the book would become lil kitabi. And because you adding the lam, you drop that alif. In that alif that was there, we drop it and it becomes lil kitabi. Right? Lil kitabi. For the book. Even though that might not necessarily make sense. So, if we are going to combine nouns together separated by prepositions. So we want to say the pen is on the desk. The pen is on the desk. So how are we going to begin? Muhammad, the pen is on the desk.
qalamun.
What?
So Allah first.
The pen, did you say?
The pen.
Oh, al-qalamu.
Al-qalamu. Al-qalamu.
Alal.
Ala. Oh.
Tawil.
The
pen.
yeah, I will say the table. We'll say the table because you know the word for
Maktaba. Ti. Maktabi.
Maktabi, good. Al-qalamu ala al-maktabi. Right? Al-qalamu is, why is al-qalamu marfu'un? Akhlaq. There's a very simple answer to why is al-qalamu marfu'un?
Original state.
Right. So the correct answer is there's no reason why it should be anything other than marfu'un, because nothing has changed it. So long as nothing is acting upon it and changing al-qalamu, it stays al-qalamu. Right, Arjan? That was the first lesson. So that's going to stay al-qalamu. What's wrong, akhlaq? What? It's always going to be al-qalamu. Okay? Then we have ala. Well, that's harfu jar. That's always ala. Then al-maktabi. Why is it al-maktabi and not al-maktabu or al-maktaba? Akhlaq. Because Allah is acting upon it. And Allah is min haruf al-jarri. So therefore al-maktabi must be majrurun, dragged down. It must be al-maktabi. Okay? So if we want to say the boy is in the room, the boy. I like this akhlaq. I never even asked you any volunteer.
I thought you looked at me.
No, but it's good that. Al-waladu.
The boy is in the room.
The boy is in the room.
في الغرفة.
Right. Al-waladu fi
في الغرفة.
al-ghurfati. Al-waladu fil ghurfati. Why is al-waladu, arjan al-waladu, and not al-walada or al-waladi?
So that is original state.
Why? Because it's in its default state. There's no reason why it should be anything else. Okay? So it's always going to be al-waladu. Fi, well, fi is in. And then we have al-ghurfati. Al-ghurfati, the room, is majrurun because of rajal?
For the fee.
Because of the fee, and the fee makes it
Drags it down.
majrurun. And the sign of it being majrurun is the kasra. The kasratun here. Okay? So, if we want to say in, nice easy one for you, Muhammad. In the name of Allah. In the name of Allah, or with the name of Allah rather. So what are we going to begin with?
With, you know.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Allah.
No.
Ism.
With or in the name of Allah.
Bismillah.
Be. I told you this one's the easy one. Right? What's name? Well, we know name, it's the same word for noun. Ismun. So you say bis me. Right? Bis me. But in the Quran, that alif isn't written, which is why it doesn't look like that. It looks like that. Next time you open it, have a look, right? It looks like that. But that's only for the Quran. Here, we would write it like this. Right? Bismillahi. Now, you will not know, well, you might know, why ha here is majrurun. Does anyone know why?
It's describing it.
No. It's a mudafun alayhi if the idafa, but that's a later lesson. But the point is that the meme here is majrurun. Why is the meme majrur?
The B.
Because of the B. And similarly, if we were to take another example, you could say, for example, the telephone is for the teacher. What's the word for telephone? Right. So how would you say the telephone? Al. Right, Muhammad. Al-hatifu. For. Li. Lil. Right. Lil. Muallimi. Muallimi. Al-muallimu or al-mudarrisu or al-ustadhu is the teacher. Muhammad selected muallimun, right? Or al-muallimu. So al-hatifu is the telephone and al-hatifu is al-hatifu. Why akhlaq?
It's in its natural default state.
Because it's in its default state. And then we have a li for. We drop the alif here, that should be here, remember, because it's not pronounced. So we drop that and it becomes lil muallimi, and that's lil muallimi because of the li, the harfu jar. Right? Is that clear? So that should be straightforward, inshallah. Okay, we've taken these 6 examples. As I said, there are other huruf al-jarr that we'll discuss later, but these are nice, simple 6 examples that you will encounter frequently, and we've inserted them into al-jumlatul ismiyya. How do we know al-jumlatul ismiyya? How do we know al-qalamu al-maktabi is al-jumlatul ismiyya? Remember, there's only 2 types of sentences in Arabic. How do we know al-qalamu al-maktabi is al-jumlatul ismiyya?
Alif Lam.
Alif Lam. But the fact that it's Alif Lam indicates what?
It's ism.
That it's an ism. That's what we wanted to hear, Muhammad. Al-jumlatul ismiyya tabda'u bil ismi. Al-jumlatul ismiyya begins with an ismun. Al-qalamu is an ismun. Al-waladu is an ismun. Al-hatifu is ismun. So that is al-mubtada'u, the beginning. Al-qalamu, al-waladu, al-hatifu. The remainder, al-maktabi fil ghurfati lil-muallimi is al-khabaru. Remember the two parts of al-jumlatul ismiyya, al-mubtada'u and al-khabaru. The beginning, al-mubtada'u, and then the information. And that makes sense, doesn't it? Because the beginning is al-qalamu, and what about what information about al-qalamu? Al-maktabi, on the desk. Right? So that is an example of harfu jarrin, a preposition, one of these, in a jumlatul ismiyya. Right? But to complete, we also need to look at how a harfu jar is included in a jumlatul fi'liyah. So we want to say the student wrote the book. How do you say the student wrote the book? Quickly.
Kataba.
Good, Muhammad. Kataba.
Wrote the book, did you say?
Yeah, the student.
Al-talibu.
Kataba at-talibu.
Was it in the book?
No, the book.
Oh, the book. Al-kitabu. Al-kitaba.
Good, you corrected yourself. Al-kitaba. Kataba at-talibu al-kitaba. The student wrote the book. Okay? Kataba is a fi'lun. At-talibu is the fa'ilun. The fa'ilun is always marfu'un, and al-kitaba is mansubun, because it's a maf'ulun bihi. But if we want to say the student wrote in the book, right? Where do we put in? What's in? Fi. Where does fi go?
Fil kitabi.
Right. Fil kitabi. Good. So it becomes fil kitabi, meaning, so what do we know therefore? That fi still makes, in fact this is all the object now, but the point is al-kitabi changes from al-kitaba to al-kitabi. So our object al-kitaba has changed to al-kitabi because of fi. Right, akhlaq? If we remove the fi, then what happens? It goes back to al-kitaba, right? Back to al-kitaba. If we put it back in fi, it becomes fil kitabi again. Right? So that's an example of where a harfu jarrin comes before our maf'ulun bihi object and it renders it majrurun. Okay? Right. That was nice and easy, right? John? Clark? So, any questions? All understood, right?
Yeah. Inshallah.
Okay, so no questions? So we shall conclude. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.